Greeny, they will be absolutely fine. Our researcher, Krista, gave me a great stat. Since 2019, in the month of September, they are 6-12-1, and they still get to Super Bowls and championship games. They need, obviously, Jamar Chase to be fully healthy, T. Higgins to get back, and once they do that, they will be fine, and they'll be rolling even if they stumble in Kansas City.
You know who else thinks they'll be fine? They do. The Bengals were doing a lot of trash talking this week. Jamar Chase talking to the reporters. He was asked if the Bengals are, quote, in the mix in the AFC this season. Chase not only agreed, he went a lot further than that. Listen.
Do you feel like y'all are still top of the AFC, like in the mix to win the AFC this year? I mean, what do you feel like y'all are?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Everybody knows that, bro. It's not no if. You know what I'm saying? We are the team to beat in the AFC, and we know it, and we got to act like it, and we got to play like it too.
Okay, pretty good, right? That was nothing. How about another Bengal? This time it is Cam Taylor-Britt, the third-year corner, talking about speedy wide receiver Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs. Listen to this.
What does Xavier Worthy bring to this KC offense that you guys need to be prepared for?
Speed. That's about it. He can run straight. Run jet sweeps and just run straight. He can't do too much else, so that's about it.
Okay, so we got the Bengals lose to New England, who most people think is the worst team in the league. They're going against the two-time defending champions, and they've got a lot to say. What do we think of that, RC?
One, Cam Taylor-Britt really didn't lie.
Didn't lie.
But Mike Wallace, who played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Tomlin would always say when he was going for 80 yards, on one play, he'd say, he got one trick, but it's a hell of a trick. And that's all that matters. Xavier Worthy doesn't have to have a large bag because when you run 4-2-1, your bag is large enough the time you step on the field. And you can touch the ball 2 times, 3 times, and have the biggest plays of the game. But the other piece of this is the Cincinnati Bengals, and not as much as Jamar Chase, they're speaking from a place of insecurity, right? Because when you are playing well, when you go out and you win, I'm going to speak so highly of the other team because I know that you can't be nothing but complimentary of me. I don't have to build myself up in the media. I don't have to make you think I'm not scared to go into Arrowhead. I don't have to make you think that I'm not apprehensive that we can go 0-2 because you already know it. But when you go out and you lay a dud and you lose to the New England Patriots, who everybody picked you to beat, and it's ugly and you can't stop the run and you're physically bludgeoned and your all-pro quarterback doesn't play the level that you used to, and there's nobody to freaking throw the ball to, and you're throwing the Ishivas and freaking Irwin, you feel in some sort of way, if I don't tell y'all I'm good, y'all are going to believe the truth, which is that right now, at this moment, we ain't.
And that's the problem, right? Like, you go back a couple years, they go to the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. They're talking about Burrowhead Stadium, right? But they had just beaten them the year before. Like, they had reason to feel that way. They were red hot. Now they're a mess. Like, the Bengals are coming out of the offseason. They're not in any kind of shape to talk like this.
Bart, you brought up something that RC is going to remember well that this reminded you of.
I mean, first of all, to quote Billy the Kid, I'll make you famous. And you don't want Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to make you famous.
Right.
First thing I thought was what the Anthony Smith is going on here, right? I can remember.
Don't you do that.
Why poke the bear? Like, listen, they made Anthony Smith famous. We remember this and know this, and RC had a front row seat to 400 yards of an aerial assault and attack, and this is something that you don't want to be on the other end of. Why poke the bear? The back-to-back champions that went out and beat a team in your division that has Super Bowl aspirations. Why didn't you help your guy, man? He took a stand and ate.
Everyone knows what he's talking about. This was when your teammate Anthony Smith had trash talk for Tom.
He was set up, Greeny. He was set up. The people asked, could he win? And he's like, yes, we could win. And he's like, do you guarantee it? And he's like, kind of. And then Tom Brady was running down, hitting my man face mask. They throwing freaking double passes. Why you got to throw a double pass with Randy Moss? You know what? I see Bill every week. I'm going to fight Bill this week because he was dead wrong. Anthony Smith got cut after this. We sent him away. It was bad news.
And can I ask you, who's the new Tom Brady?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that guy. Why would you poke the bear with that guy?
And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing about the Bengals guys, when your quarterback is fighting a Gatorade bottle, that is not a good sign.
He doesn't look healthy.
Wow.
He does not. Put the pics on the screen, Cindy. Yesterday, everyone was downplaying this for me, RC. Joe Burrow does not look healthy, and he does not. His wrist, that's the way he's constantly doing this, doesn't look right. And he hasn't played that well.
I will say this also, too, though. It's not about being healthy. It just sometimes doesn't feel normal.
Yeah.
Right? When you have an ankle, when you have a knee, when you have a shoulder. When I tore my shoulder, I was always doing this. And it wasn't that it wasn't healthy enough to play, or I wasn't. It was that it feels different after surgery. And so I'm not going to overreact.
But RC, I'd say this, like, it's one thing for a safety or a linebacker to deal with something, but when it's your franchise quarterback and it's his throwing wrist, that's not the same.
That's the thing. If it feels different and it affects his throwing motion by this much, isn't that enough to wreck the whole season?
Yeah, but like if you watch the film though, the throw to Gesicki that he drops the touchdown couldn't be thrown any better. When they finally pushed the football down the field to Jamar Chase in the fourth quarter on the triple seam, the throw is exactly where it needs to be. He has to make different throws. They have to scheme differently. I'm not going to sit here and panic about Joe Burrow when I watched a ton of other quarterbacks throw the football way worse this week.
Very quick.
And we know that Cincinnati's right to have confidence. You just don't say the inside stuff outside.
Those are intrusive thoughts.
And that's something that you have to keep to yourself because you don't want to poke the bear, and that's not your line. That's a winner's line. You lost last week.
Xavier Worthy may only run straight, but he runs it very fast.
One trick pony with
all
a great
these other guys do the other stuff. He just has to do his part.
As we continue again.